Good morning, YTPC. Smoking Fred coming at you. All my American watchers out there, happy Thanksgiving. A bit of a rainy morning for us. I woke up and I was laying in bed. I heard some rumbles of thunder and thought, oh, happy day. Love me a good storm. This isn't a great storm. Just been, I don't know, 4 or 5 rumbles of thunder through it and a little bit of rain. Today, in my 7LA 321 Regimental, I am smoking LJ Peretti's Thanksgiving Day. First time having this one. I'm rather enjoying it. It's sweet. Not quite sure what notes I'm getting, but it's definitely a good smoke. Last I checked, it was still available on the website. I don't know if it still is, but it comes in a 4-ounce brick. It's a pressed cake, crumble cake. It has a nice little bit of sweetness. I feel like I'm getting some nuttiness out of it. Citrus notes. Some fruitiness, definitely. Got a little fruit cake on that one. I'm not a fan of fruit cake, but I don't mind the smell. I'm also getting a hint of like a floral oriental. But quite tasty. Figured since it was Thanksgiving Day, it was time to break it out. I just hadn't gotten around to smoking it this fall. Had too many other blends to try and been traveling a bit. But I had some thoughts on my head, on my brain, I've been thinking about for the last couple of weeks. And to preface it, I'm reminded of the glass being filled only to the midpoint. Parable, phrase, whatever you want to call it. Where the optimist sees it as half full and the pessimist sees it as half empty. I want to offer a third perspective. I'm an engineer. I've got mechanical and aerospace engineering degrees. I've been working in the engineering field for over 25 years. And I've had this view since before I even started working as an engineer. It's just I feel like I've got an engineering brain. But that glass is twice as large as it needs to be. Something to think about. Makes sense to me. But what that kind of is, what I'm trying to relate that to is some of the recent changes in the pipe tobacco industry regarding MacBaren and Sutliff. And unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you heard that back in early July, Sutliff and MacBaren were acquired by Scandinavian Tobacco Group. STG took a couple of months to evaluate things and decide what they were going to do. And they announced their decision in early November that our plans are to shut down the MacBaren and Sutliff facilities. And in the meantime, everything's operations normal. Sutliff plant, I know, is still going in full operation as if they were going to continue manufacturing forever. But come the end of Q1, it's going to be shut down of next year. which is sad for me. I've met Jeremy McKenna personally. I don't know that he remembers me. He might if he saw my face, but I feel bad for the workers up there and all that factory equipment that's probably going to be scrapped out. I can't see STG buying the competition essentially, and then turning around and selling the building as is with all the equipment in it to someone else who could become a new competitor. But and I've seen a lot of people on the internet, YouTube, Facebook groups, Instagrams, worried about the future of pipe tobacco, which I do understand. But some of them are calling for a boycott of STG. And all I know is things are going to change. This has happened before on a different scale when McClellan went out of business. And, you know, things have changed a bit. I wasn't a pipe smoker back then. I have been lucky enough to come across a handful of McClellan tobacco at price points that I'm willing to pay, which is not market value. And for my taste, Frog Morton, the original Frog on a Log, I can't tell any difference between that and Country Squire Shepherd's Pie. So they figured out how to replicate it without using the McClellan tobacco. Now, I'm sure there's some of you that might be punching the air and are saying they're not even close to being the same, but that's what I taste. I've smoked them side by side. Northwoods is another one from Boswell's. It's very similar for some people. For me, it is not. Northwoods has something in it that gives me an odd flavor on the retrohale. Tastes like burnt plastic, burnt rubber to me, so I can't smoke it. I've tried, trust me, I've tried. I even got a sample straight from the shop in Chambersburg when I was there the last time, and put it in a pipe and went upstairs and smoked it, and I got the exact same thing. So it's not that I got a bad batch or something like that, or it was mislabeled. It's just there's something in there. It doesn't agree with my constitution. But so many people are mad at STG because they're probably gonna, you know, shut down a lot of the stuff and not make some of the different blending tobaccos. So some of the stuff that blenders use, like LJ Peretti, Emerson Southern Forged, Country Squire, etc., that they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board, so to speak, to figure out how to remake their blends and keep them tasting similar. And yeah, that sucks. Sucks that they're going to have to do that, but they will adapt and they'll figure it out. It may even come up with some different blends, and some may go away. But the people who were upraging, mad at STG for this, I've not heard one person, and I'm sure there's some of y'all out there, but I haven't heard it, that are, in my opinion, mad at the right person. And sure, STG bought it. They saw a toy they wanted, and they saved up, and they paid for it. and everything's for sale for a price. But at the same time, in order for them to sell it, somebody has to be, or in order for them to buy it, someone has to be willing to sell it. If someone walked up to me and said, "Hey, I want to buy your Regimental 321 that you had in your Thanksgiving Day video. I'll sell it to you, but it's probably going to cost you more than what you can buy a new one for. Because this one's sentimental to me. This one is mine." And I'm not mad at STG. I don't want to say I'm mad at them, but I think people should be more mad at the people who own MacBaren for selling out, knowing what was likely going to happen. And I know MacBaren and Sutliff people are very passionate about pipe tobacco, because they offer so many different blends. I mean, Sutliff had like 4 or 5 different bulk vanillas. Likely that's just going to go down to 1. But someone at MacBaren, some peoples, got together and said, "You know what? We can get out of this business." And I think the sale price was around $62 million from what I heard, American dollars. And they said, we can sell and get $62 million out of our operation. Or we can continue making pipe tobacco the way we've been doing it for years. And to the powers that be, that was their choice, was to get out. And I have to respect that. I can't change it. I can't do anything about it anyway, but I can't imagine that the pipe tobacco market specifically is growing that much right now. I mean, in the past year and a couple of months, I myself have gotten 3 people to pick up the pipe and start smoking. They are not daily smokers and probably never will be. But I also know someone who got out of the pipe smoking game recently. They were struggling to chase all the small batches and all the limited release pipes and everything, and they were gonna, their personality is gotta catch them all, and they were too stressed out about it, so they said, "You know what, I'm just gonna sell off all my stuff, put down the pipe and walk away, and I'll find something else to obsess over that's easier and, you know, not as damaging to my pocketbook." I think that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. His personality, and he decided that was the best way to go for him to be healthy. So more power to you, brother. And sure, pipe shows are, you know, fun and whatnot, but I just can't imagine it's an expanding market. I know people who made that business decision, and they know what their market share is. They know what their revenue growth or decline over the last 5 and 10 years has been, and 20 years and 30 years. So they made their decision. They have to live with it. We have to live with it. And STG is not anti-pipe tobacco. But to be frank, pipe tobacco is not a big chunk of the market. Cigars and cigarettes are where the market share is. And I haven't gone out doing any panic buying. I have, through some of the sales the past few weeks, stocked up on some blends that I enjoy. But I do not feel that I bought any more than I would have had Sutliff still been hanging around. If everything was going to remain the same, I would have bought about the same. I'm just trying to build up my cellar for the future, because tobacco prices are never going to be as good as they are now. And I'm happy that where I'm at right now, most 2-ounce tins of tobacco are around $15 US for me. I know just yesterday someone on one of the Facebook groups was comparing. I was Presbyterian ordained, and I'm trying to remember the other blend that they had. Squadron leader. I think they're actually 50 gram tins, 1.75 ounces or so. About comparing the U.S. prices, granted it was before tax, but still, to what the Canadian price is for it, and they're looking at like $68 U.S. for a tin versus 15, maybe 20. And there are some states that have much higher taxes than that. Our taxes jack it up. And I'm in North Carolina. We have some tax on it, but it's not super crazy. And then someone else from Australia posted some prices of theirs, which I converted back to US dollars. And it was like $110 for a 50 gram tin. So I have been stocking up a bit. And like I said, it's not not because Sutliff went out of business or being shut down. It's just I want to add to my cellar for the future. Which there are some decent Black Friday sales going on, which I have picked up a couple more things. But as I said, I'm not trying to panic buy, because I want to have enough Seattle Pipe Club plum pudding to last the rest of my life. Because quite frankly, I don't. And that's honestly, Seattle Pipe Club is one of the biggest things I have a question about, because of the way the FDA is in our country, and how Seattle Pipe Club's if they're going to continue an agreement with STG, and try to make that blend with whatever components remain, or if they're going to cease to exist, or if they're going to go try to make a deal with LJ Peretti or Cornell and Deal, or someone else, and do small batches. Because to be quite frank, the FDA is not going to approve those blends again. They didn't approve them the last time they got grandfathered in, to my knowledge. And Cornell and Deal and LJ Peretti are probably not going to go through the hassle of fighting with the FDA to get them approved as official blends. But I know it's kind of a downer video on a day we're supposed to be thankful for things, but just some thoughts I had. This is a fantastic blend. I'm thankful for tobacco. I'm thankful that we have the variety that we have. My father was a pipe smoker before my older sister was born. He kicked the habit and stopped once my older sister was born. But I guarantee he didn't have 5,000 blends at his fingertips. I got into pipe smoking as he was in his final month on this earth, and I never talked to him about pipe smoking. But knowing that he also was an engineer, I'm pretty sure he sampled 3 or 4 different pipe tobaccos and found one that he liked, you know, Captain Black or Prince Albert or whatever, and just smoked that. I mean, 70 years ago, 60 years ago, thank you. I'm sure at least one of y'all said bless you. And don't feel bad if you didn't. It's all good. But they didn't have the variety, and they didn't have it available. It was harder to find out what new blends might be available. So, you know, I think that I do feel like we are in a bit of a renaissance of pipe smoking that is in a semi-peak right now. We got lots of pipe shows and stuff going on, lots of artisan pipe makers out there on Instagram and Facebook. For that, I'm very grateful. I don't feel like pipe smoking is going to be disappearing anytime soon, especially not from me. I mean, I think I got 100 to 130 open jars of tobacco right now. So, you know, they all have the little, what are they, 8-ounce jars, I think. And they can hold up to about 2 ounces of ribbon cut. I'd say they're probably half full, if not more. But that's probably going to take me, if I didn't open another tin of tobacco, you know, probably 5 years to smoke through. Because I typically have about 1 bowl a day. Some days I have 2, some days I have none. I had 2 days this past week where I didn't even pick up a pipe. Wasn't feeling it. But yesterday I had 2 because I was fighting insurance company and doctor's offices trying to get a prescription refilled that my wife needed. And I'm not going to go into it, but let's just say there was a lot of back and forth and getting the right verbiage put on the script to allow it to get filled. And needed a pipe to help calm me down while I was in the middle of that. That was my second pipe yesterday. It helped dramatically, absolutely. And my wife was even more stressed than I was. And we expected not to get that filled yesterday, and expected not to have any of her meds until Monday. But about 7 o'clock, she got a text from the pharmacy that her script was ready for pickup. So, you know, happy day. Thankful for that. Allowed her to sleep much better last night than she has the last couple of days. And I'm truly grateful for so many things in my life. There's not a day that goes by that I don't say thank you to my Maker about it. I'm thankful for the things we have in our country that we can enjoy. And I know there's some people that are not happy with our leaders recently and in the near future. But overall, in my opinion, and I have traveled the world, I've been to many different countries and seen a lot of different things. I got a pretty damn good life here. I feel very blessed. And at the current time, I don't have any desire to try to pick up and move somewhere else, because grass ain't always greener on the other side of the fence. But got a gathering with some good friends this afternoon. My family doesn't live too close to me. I up and moved away because I didn't want to deal with the snow where they were living. And my wife's family is from up north as well. But we developed a network of friends that feels like family, the family that we chose. So I'm going to be hanging out with a bunch of them today. And I'll probably bring a pipe along with me. I may smoke this afternoon. It's supposed to be in the mid-60s. Might be raining. I don't know. I may or may not get a chance to enjoy pipe. But I'm going to bring along some Boswell's Piper's Pleasure, which is I get compliments on all the time. And if I feel the desire, I'll pack a bowl and go out and have a smoke. I may also bring along some pumpkin pie, because that's another good one, and it is Thanksgiving Day. I doubt that I'm going to have two pipes, but maybe I'll have two little ones. I don't know. Only time will tell. But fantastic smoke. I do hope y'all got something out of this. I mean, any situation you can look at it a multitude of different ways, and it's just, I tend to try to find a balanced outlook. Some might call it putting on some rose-colored glasses, which I don't have any. I got these ones, though. They do obscure my vision if I look down to the right a little bit, but that's alright. But there's always another way to look at it. Just like if you're doing statistical analysis. And there's always some way to manipulate the data to give it what you want to hear. I've seen that way too many times in my career. But yeah, I know that STG makes pipe tobacco. I just opened a tin of Granger and tried that the other day. That's something that they make. and it's a very, very decent smoke. I actually enjoyed it slightly more than Prince Albert. After I got done with that bowl of Prince Albert on my last video, I was craving something with a little more meat to it, a little more strength. So I packed a small bowl of Granger and it hit the spot. Now I'm sure there's times when I'll reach for Prince Albert. I've got 13.9 ounces of it left, so it ain't gonna go to waste. It's a decent smoke. And I had some Velvet yesterday. That's what I had when I was dealing with all the doctor prescription stuff. My first time having Velvet. I bought 1.5 ounces of that, and I placed an order for some bigger tubs of it yesterday through Tobacco Pipes for their Black Friday sale. I really enjoy that one. Got some good flavors in it. But I'm gonna wrap this one up. Hope y'all enjoyed this talk, and possibly it made you think about things a little differently. Perhaps it makes you want to unsubscribe and not listen to my content because you don't like my viewpoint. That's perfectly fine. That's my opinion. That's how I look at it. My opinions are like armpits. Everyone's got them. Some of them stink. Mine might stink right now. I don't know. I haven't checked them today. I rolled out of bed with that thunderstorm rolling through. Said I want to go out and have a pipe. Go make a quick video. Which, my videos ain't quick. Hope y'all are enjoying the rambling. And if y'all fast forwarded through it or click past it, so be it. But my kitty Tex is he's at the window looking at me because past his breakfast time. I didn't feed him yet. His brother's on an automatic feeder, but he gets fed separately because he doesn't fight them for the food out of the automatic feeder. So we have to feed him separately. But I'm going to say, like I always say when I sign off, I want to encourage you to be a better person today than you were yesterday. And be a better person tomorrow than you were today. Smoking bread. Out.